had this guy, nicest guy in the world, just had kind of a normal job, made low six figures and had owned an Aston Martin DB9 for a really long time. And we did a lot of really long-term car financing, these like 12-year, 15-year loans. And, if the car doesn't go down in value, that can be a great way to own it. And so he owed effectively $100,000 on a $50,000 car because Astons depreciate like crazy. And he didn't want to put much money down. And so he just wanted to have a newer car. And that's a hard thing to do because effectively, if you're trading a $50,000 car for a $150,000 car, you can adjust the numbers up. So you get $100 for your trade and you pay $200 for the new car. And so you're still paying the same $100,000 delta. The bank doesn't know that the numbers were different. But that's too much to hide. Like hiding 20,000, maybe 30,000, maybe hiding 50 grand takes some doing. And we tried so many deals, and I ended up selling him an Aston Martin Virage when we got an incentive on those back in 2012. And he was the happiest guy in the world. Now he owed at that point at least 100 more than that car was going to be worth immediately, but he loved it. And that was his thing. And he was going to probably pay it for 5, 6, 7 years. And he was fine with it.
So when you see people driving like really expensive exotic cars, what percentage of those people have them financed and can barely afford them?
It's going to vary a little bit by market and by demographic. But I would say 75% are financed. Certainly in my sales experience, 75%.
When you say 75 financed, is that because that's the smart move to make because they got a low interest rate and it makes more sense to arbitrage the money? Or is that because they just can't afford it?
No, because they cannot afford it.
So a lot of people think that if you drive a supercar, generally speaking, you're kind of loaded. Like I feel like especially a lot of, I could be wrong here, but like girls, they'll see a guy driving a nice car. They're like, ooh, he's got money. But you'd say that's generally not the greatest
If
belief.
you're driving a supercar that's less than 5 years old, you should not assume that person has a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah. If they're driving, an iconic vintage or significant car, something that's 10, 20, 30, 40 years old, for sure, there's a really good chance because those are harder to finance. But if they've got a brand new Huracan, no.
Interesting.
Didn't the Dave Ramsey millionaire study show that most millionaires drive Toyotas?
Yeah, Toyotas, Hondas, and the F-150 pickup trucks.
Yeah, but that data is massively skewed because most millionaires are retired.